Good afternoon, Anton. Thank you very much for being on the program with us. It's a pleasure having you with us. How are you? How's everything?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you asking me to be on this. But yeah, I'm good, thank you. Especially after the weekend and West Ham winning and beating Chelsea, I'm doing great.
Absolutely. We'll definitely get towards that towards the later part of the interview. But if first I can ask you that the most amount of time you spent playing football, the better part of your life, but after retirement, you're doing more things for a special cause, speaking about the pressing issues in society like racism and inclusion in this beautiful sport. So what inspired you to actually do this after hanging your boots from the pitch when most players actually get into managerial jobs and coaching jobs?
Well, mostly for me, it was about obviously my own story, um, my own incident that I was involved in many years ago. I think it's 11 years ago now. Um, and essentially being ready to speak about it. It took me a long time to get into a place where I was comfortable enough to, sorry, I was comfortable enough to actually feel like I could speak about it, but also be a voice for other people, you know, and not deliver a message with anger. Because for many years I was still angry, but I think the death of my mum, it softened me to a place where I was ready to speak, you know, and not just speak for the masses and the next generation, but carry on her legacy, because she was someone who always tried to do best for people, always tried to help people, and it was for that partly for that reason me coming forward and speaking and continuing her legacy.
Perfect. So, Anton, since you have spoken, there have been many other people who have actually come forward as well. And if I can maybe even touch upon the recent revelations of a cricketer, Azeem Rafiq, who came out and spoke about racism in cricket in England. What's your take on that? And do you feel that more and more people are speaking up? And is there racism, maybe institutional racism, throughout in different sports in England? What do you have to say about that?
I think it's great that Azeem's come out and spoke about it. You know, and so I understand where he's at in terms of speaking and receiving abuse about stuff, you know, but him coming out and speaking about his own personal experiences will only benefit the next generation in terms of the next generation of cricketers coming through who, for me, they'll look at it and think, okay, with this happening, parents look at it and go, maybe through this conversation being had, cricket will be a better place for our children, you know, and I think that's fantastic. In terms of how he's held it in for a long time, you know, and you can see it on his face when he speaks about it, how much he's carried, you know, and I know that only too well because I've looked at myself on the documentary and realised how much I did hold in just by watching myself again, you know, but the fact that he's really the person that's come forward and spoke about it, he deserves credit because, as I said, he's speaking not for himself but the generations that will go after him. Sorry.
Excellent. And Anton, do you think since players like yourself and Azeem and other people are speaking up, there has been a positive change? Have you seen anything positive? And in cricket, we saw a lot of people actually resigning from their positions. Do you feel that football has taken the same responsibility, especially when our players taking the knee and everything? Have things changed for the better?
I wouldn't say people in football have resigned from their posts. That ain't what's happening in football. That's happening in cricket, and it's fantastic to see people that have allegedly racially abused people or any forms of discrimination, to be honest with you, shouldn't be in that type of job, you know, dealing with and working with people of different races, different sexual orientations. They shouldn't be working with these people if they have an opinion on it, which isn't the right one, you know. But in football definitely far behind, you know. And I can only speak really about football because that's my field, but the diversity in the hierarchy in football is nowhere near where it should be. When you look at the football pitch compared to the hierarchy, the boardrooms, the senior management level, the decision-making table, it doesn't mirror the football pitch. I think when that starts to happen in football, then we'll see the changes that we really want to see.
Okay, okay. Anton, now coming up to some lighter stuff as well. Let's talk about your journey through the West Ham Academy, the famous West Ham Academy for youth. If you could share some memorable stories for us, because some of the best players for England actually came out from there. And how do you see now the current structure of English football bottom up?
Yeah, it looks exciting. We've got a lot of exciting young attacking players, which is fantastic for English football. You know, I just wish I was coming through in this era, because the defence ain't quite like the same it was when I was playing and coming through, trying to get into the England team. You know, sitting behind and trying to get into the England team when there's the likes of Rio, John Terry, Ledley King, Jamie Carragher, Jonathan Woodgate, Sol Campbell. That's 6 of the best. You know, and there's no comparison to what there is now. You know, that's in the England team, 100%. The weakest part of the team is the defence, centre of defence. You know, so I only wish I was coming through now. You know, but for England as a whole, the way that Gareth Southgate's got the team, it's not even about the tactics and that now. I think the fact that he's got a togetherness in that England squad, that's something that England hasn't had. You know, when you look at individual players, you probably say the Rio, Beckham, Rooney, Scholes team, Lampard, Gerrard, that team individually was probably better. You know, but what they didn't have, and these players speak about it a lot, that they didn't have a togetherness because they were more fixated on and more obsessed with winning the Premier League for their football club rather than playing for England. You know. So the fact that Gareth Southgate's got that now, that togetherness, and that's what we saw taking them to the heights that we saw in the summer.
So do you see it coming home in Qatar or anytime in any other big tournament?
I think we've got a better chance because we've got that experience. You know, we've got the experience of getting to a final. You know, the only thing that's going to be hard now, and I hope that the English media don't do it, is put too much pressure on these players to go and have to go and win it. You know, that's always been the case. The English press love to put pressure on the players, which I actually get because I'm on the other side of the table now. I do stuff for radio, I do stuff for TalkSport and BT and various other companies in the media, you know, and I understand it. We want to dream, we want to live the dream with them, you know, but we also have to remember, especially people like myself who have played the game, we have to remember that although pressure can be good, sometimes pressure can be a hindrance, and they've already got enough pressure with the weight of the nation on their shoulders. Don't need ex-players coming out and making sure that they understand and know from our perspective that they have to go and win this game.
Absolutely. And Anton, if you could please share with us how much you're enjoying seeing West Ham perform the way they are this season and where they are at the moment.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. You can see it on my face. You know, the fact that when you look at the league and where we are in the league, and the fact that we've beat all the big teams this year, you know, and the fact that Arsenal are thinking that we're a big game, you know, that for me is brilliant. You know, and you're seeing West Ham do what rightly they should be doing in terms of the progression. You know, we're in the Europa League. We've won our group. We're sitting fourth in the league. You know, Moyes is doing a fantastic job, and he's, again, I spoke about togetherness with the England team. That's something probably that the West Ham team hasn't had for a while. And Moyes has galvanised that. He's been fantastic. But the difference between him and the managers before him is what he's done in the transfer market. He's bought more, likewise, more players that are suited to West Ham. You know, it's all good spending the money on a player, but the player has to be the right fit for the football club. You know, and what I mean by that is you have to be a certain type of personality to play for West Ham. I know that full well, being a fan and someone who's played in front of the fans. You know, you can't be someone who can't handle pressure. You can't be someone who's too sensitive, because if you're not playing well, the fans are going to let you know. You know, you have to have a certain type of mentality to play for West Ham United. And he's buying them type of players, which is why we're seeing West Ham do so well.
Absolutely. We wish them the very best for the rest of the season as well. We did hear there was some news about you and your brother, along with the consortium, maybe buying West Ham Club. Are you guys any closer to that? Is that going to happen?
Not at the moment. It's quiet at the moment. I think West Ham have got an investor in there at the moment. The Czech guy, Kudinsky, I think he's going in there. So I think that'll be on the back burner for now. But listen, we're always ready and waiting. You know, West Ham's a club that's close to our heart, and you know, if we can continue this journey with them and make them better, even better, then we'll jump at that opportunity. You know, but listen, say the people that are there at the moment, as we've seen this year, over the last 2 years, they're still doing a good job. Fans may beg to differ with me on that, but I've always said, in terms of owners putting their money where their mouth is, they've always done that. Have they bought the right players? No, I would happily say that, but they've done their job, which is putting the money up to get players in. You know, and I've always said that when you speak about the stadium and stuff, I don't need to speak about that because everyone knows what happened. All the fans know what happened around the stadium and what was said about the stadium. But in terms of them as owners, they've done their job. They've put their money where their mouth is, and this is why West Ham is where they are today.
Absolutely. And Anton, if very lastly I could ask you, where do you see West Ham finishing this season, and your predictions for the top 3 finish? Do you think it's going to be a three-horse race, or could be even more going further into the season?
No, I think it'll be a 3-horse race. I think Chelsea will win it this year. Mm-hmm. As much as it hurts me to say that, I think Chelsea will win it. And it'll be at Liverpool and Man City who come second. But listen, I'm a West Ham fan. Surely we're allowed to dream. If we can stay in that top 4, it'd be fantastic. But if we finish in Europe again, we're establishing ourselves as a football club that finishes in European places. I'm happy with that. If we get top 4, it's a bonus. As long as Arsenal finish below us, I'm good.
Perfect, Anton. Thank you so much for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. So we wish you all the best for your football activism and everything, and we look forward to speaking in the near future as well. So good luck from all the fans in Pakistan to you.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure, Anton. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you.